One of the sayings in our country is Ubuntu, the essence of being human. Ubuntu speaks particularly about the facts that you cannot exist as a human being in isolation. It talks about our interconnectedness. You can't be human all by yourself. And when you have this quality, Ubuntu, you are known for your generosity. We think of ourselves far too frequently as just individuals, separate from one another, whereas you are connected and what you do affects the whole world. When you do well, it spreads out. It is for the whole of humanity. That is a quote by Desmond Tutu, and this is the Inspired Poetry Corner. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome, 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 whatever part of the globe you are. Thank you for enjoying Sunday at the Corner. If you haven't noticed, I haven't done any big promotions about it, but we've changed the name slightly to Sunday at the Corner to just keep the Inspired Poetry Corner as a group and all the other things that we've been doing. My name is Raul. I am honored to be your host. I'm just blessed to see the beautiful faces that have decided to spend some of their Sunday with us, whether it's morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are. And today we get to feature one of my favorite two humans on this planet, two young people that I've known for a number of years who are no longer just friends that have become family. So we'll get into them in very quickly because I want to give them as much time to offer what it is that they offer, which is just complete brilliance from their hearts. So anyway, as you know, this is a tape show, so I will invite you for now to keep your mics unmuted until you're called upon. We have our feature act and then followed by the Not Ready for Primetime poets. We have about 15 poets lined up. Although actually that number may have dropped down to 13 because, like I said, a couple of people have come down with the flu or the cold or whatever's going on around. Each poet of the not Ready for Primetime poets will have up to 5 minutes to recite. Poets, I'll ask you to just make sure you have your poems ready. I say up to 5 minutes. I mean, if you go, a little bit longer, I'm not too concerned, but do try to keep within that time frame and respect for others. Anyway, before we get in, how are you doing? How are you showing up today? Are you in good spirits? Are you feeling the joy? Are you grateful for being on the right side of the dirt? Because I am. With all the other craziness and all the stuff that I may be dealing with, I'm always grateful. I'm on the right side of the dirt, and I'm grateful for whatever experience the universe decides to bring and whatever I decide to create. So I'm glad that you're here today. Glad to see you here today. Hope you are feeling well, both in body, in mind, and in spirit. Okay, having said that, I really want to dive into the show. Before we do, please, if you haven't already, please follow the Inspired Poetry Corner and we'll keep you updated of all the different events we have coming. We have a year full of amazing events for you, both our regular monthly shows and then special shows that myself and my two partners in crime, Miss Angie and Artemis, that we'll be bringing to you this year. It's trying to offer a variety and as well trying to offer things that remind us, reminds us of our humanity and to be able to remember at the end of the day, whether we differ in how we think and how we see things, we are all still human at the end of the day. And that's the variety of our humanity, is that we do have different thoughts, different feelings, different beliefs, but that does not negate our humanity. So anyway, I do hope you're well. Hope you're ready to sit back with your favorite beverage. I have my cup of Black Joe going, hopefully I'll have another one by the end of the day because between water and coffee, that's what keeps me going. So I hope you have whatever keeps you fueled. And I hope you are open in heart, open in mind to embrace our gathering. This is not a place about being right or wrong. This is just a place where we gather to share openly and to receive openly. Having said that, let's get into this because I want, if you have not experienced this young couple, that I want you to have as much time to experience them. Today, the Inspired Poetry Corner and Sunday at the Corner are very pleased to spotlight a couple that I have known for a long time. There's something like a beautiful whisper, a whistle in the night, a song in the light. Lady Dia and Trophy of Kinfolk Nation create dream space through the exploration of new jazz, the sound of Ubuntu. Kinfolk Nation is an art house, production place, and creative tribe, documenting the experiences and stories of contemporary African, Caribbean spirit and the kindred spirit they cross paths with. As they say, we are building a nation of people. Everybody is welcome, but only if you have love. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I'll invite you for a moment to unmute and give Lady Dia and Trophy of Kinfolk Nation a beautiful, warm, heart big hug and welcome to Sunday at the Corner.
Welcome.
Mic is yours. The floor is yours.
Can you hear? Here by the fire, dreams unfold, medicine flowing through my lungs. Here by the fire, dreams unfold, and medicine flowing through my lungs. Here by the fire, medicine flowing through my lungs. Hearing the water rushing on, medicine flowing through my lungs. Here by the fire, dreams unfold, and medicine flowing through my lungs. Hearing the water rushing on, medicine flowing through my lungs. Here by the fire, dreams dreams unfold and medicine flowing through my lungs. Hearing the water rushing on, medicine flowing through my lungs, surrounded by tall trees and stars around, hearing the water rushing on, here by the fire. Medicine flowing through my lungs. That was called Air, and I hope you enjoyed it. And we'll be releasing that soon, I think, very soon. Go ahead.
Don't blame me if I go for this money go. Don't blame me if I go for this money go. Don't blame me if I go for this money go. Don't blame me if I go for this money go.
Don't blame me if I go for this money go. Don't blame me if I go for this money go. Don't blame me if I go for this money go. Don't blame me if I go for this money go. Don't blame me if I go for this money go. Don't blame me if I go for this money go. Don't blame me if I go for this money go. Don't blame me if I go for this money go. Don't blame me if I go for this money go. Don't blame me if I go for this money go. Don't blame me if I go for this money go. Don't blame me if I go for this money go. 'Cause a million ain't enough anymore. A billion ain't enough anymore. A trillion ain't enough anymore. What we gonna do? A million ain't enough anymore. A billion ain't handed out the door. A trillion, man, there's gotta be more. What we gonna do? Oh, money, money makes the world go round. Money, money, what you want it for? Yeah. Money, money, just to buy things. What you need money, money for? Hey. A million ain't enough anymore. A billion ain't enough anymore. A trillion ain't enough anymore. What we gonna do? A million ain't enough anymore. A billion can be handed out the door. A trillion, man, there's gotta be more. What we gonna do? Oh, money, money makes the world go round. Money, money, what you want it for? Yeah. Money, money, just to buy anything. What you need money, money for? A-gang, R-gang. A billion ain't enough anymore. A trillion ain't enough anymore. Quadrupling, making up new words. I'm screaming I'm more. Quadrupling, making up new words. I'm screaming I'm more. Quadrupling, making up new words. Screaming I'm more. Quadrupling, making up new words. I'm screaming I'm more.
But even when I had no money, I was still a rich man. Even when I had no money, I was still a rich man. Even when I had no money, I was still a rich man. Even when I had no money, I was still a rich man. Even when I had no money, I was still a rich man. Even when I had no money, I was still a rich man. Oh. Even when I had no money, I was still a rich man. Even when I had no money, I was still a rich man. Even when I had no money, oh yeah, I was still a rich man. Yeah. Even when I had no money, I was still a rich man. Oh yes, I was. Even when I had no money, no penny at all, I was still a rich man. Yes, I was. Even when I had no money, pockets empty, I was still a rich man. Mm-mm. Even when I had no money, I was still a rich man. Even when I had no money, I was still a rich man. Even when I had no money, I was still a rich man. Even when I had no money, I was still a rich man. So money, money makes the world go round. Money, money, what you want it for? Yeah. Money, money, just to buy things. What you need money, money for? Money, money makes the world go round. Money, money, what you want it for? Oh, yeah. money, money, just to buy things. What you need money, money for? A million ain't enough anymore. A billion ain't enough anymore. A trillion ain't enough anymore. What we gonna do? A million ain't enough anymore. A billion can be handed out the door. A trillion, man, there's gotta be more. What we gonna do? Thank you, guys. Thank you. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear that?
Yep, we can.
Can't hear it, honey.
Raoul, I think they need to turn original sound off.
Is it theirs or mine?
Theirs, because I can't hear the guitar. I couldn't actually hear the percussion during that last beautiful song that they did. I only heard the words.
Okay.
Oh, you said original sound off or on?
Off. I turned mine off, and that's why it comes through the way it does. It's weird on different computers. I don't want to interrupt you. Continue with what you're doing, but it's so beautiful. I just want to hear more of the stuff.
No, Henry. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a live show, man. So we go with the flow, and I appreciate the advice.
Yes.
Yes.
Tell me. Can you
Can
hear
you hear
that?
that one?
Oh, nice. You can feel free to play it.
There's a half-life in your belly. Can you feel it? There's a half-life in your belly. Can you see it? Nairobi, in Nairobi. Ooh, Nairobi, in Nairobi. Nairobi, in Nairobi. Nairobi, in Nairobi. Nairobi. There's a half-life in your belly. Can you feel it? There's a half-life in your belly. Can you see? Nairobi, in Nairobi. Nairobi, in Nairobi. Nairobi, in Nairobi. Nairobi. There's a life in your belly. Can you feel it? There's a half-life in your belly. Can you see it? Nairobi, in Nairobi. Oh yeah, Nairobi, in Nairobi. Nairobi, in Nairobi. Nairobi. There's a half-life in your belly. Can you feel it? There's a half-life in your belly. You see. There's a half-life in your belly. Are you dreaming?
There's a half-life in your belly. Are you dying? Nairobi, in Nairobi. What are your dreams? Nairobi, in Nairobi. Don't let it die. Nairobi, in Nairobi. Where are your dreams? Nairobi, in Nairobi. Nairobi. There's a half-life in your belly. Can you feel it? There's a half-life in your belly. Can you see it? Nairobi, in Nairobi. Nairobi, in Nairobi. Nairobi, in Nairobi. Nairobi. So lay your wings out, lay your wings out and fly. So many things that you've pushed down. Why? Lay your wings out and fly. So many things you've pushed down. Why? Lay your dreams out and fly. So many things down, you've pushed down. Oh, why? But there's a half-life in your belly. Can you feel it? There's a half-life in your belly. Can you see it? Nairobi, in Nairobi. Nairobi, in Nairobi. Yeah, Nairobi, in Nairobi. Nairobi. Our life in your belly, can you feel it? There's a hard life in your belly, can you see it? Nairobi, Nairobi. Nairobi, in Nairobi. Yeah, Nairobi, in Nairobi. It's a hard life in your belly. Can you feel it? There's a half life in your belly. Can you see? It'll do one with the bird. Oh, yeah. We have time for one more?
Oh, for sure. You do. Yes. Yes.
All right.
Oh, I love that song. I love that song.
Just for you. This is a newer song that dropped in our spirits. So exclusive here at Sunday at the Corner. I don't think that's okay. Yeah. All good. Burdens I've carried that ain't even mine. Can't see me smile, they don't want me to shine. My bad of projection is making me blind. Respond, not react, trying to train my mind. Burdens I've carried that ain't even mine. Can't see me smile, they don't want me to shine. My bad of projection is making me blind. Respond, not react, trying to train my
mine.
How does it feel to me when there's so many memories? Do you let go of so much heart and pain when there's so many memories? Sunday morning is praying for peace. Monday feels like a tragedy. But they say you got to learn to live with this world's hypocrisies. Now he's fighting for his peace of mind. Now he's fighting for his peace of mind. I hope you find your peace of mind. I hope you find your peace of mind. Shall we? And how many times shall we know? How many times shall we? And how many times shall we wait? How many times shall we go? How many times shall we? How many times shall we? And how many times shall we wait?
Burdens I've carried that ain't even mine. Can't see me smile, they don't want me to shine. My bad projection is making me blind. Respond, not react, trying to train my mind. Burdens I've carried that ain't even mine. Can't see me smile, they don't want me to shine. My bad projection is making me blind. Respond, not react, trying to train my mind. What a bad. What's your name? Good. Lord, see where I come from, but lady, good. Mubango Kobe. How you feel today? I feel champion. Deep in sweet do slay. But it's okay, they ain't even mine. Can't see me smile, they don't want me to shine. My battle projection is making me blind. Respond, not react, trying to train my mind. Yeah. Burdens I've carried that ain't even mine. Can't see me smile, they don't want me to shine. Yeah. My battle projection is making me blind. Respond, not react, trying to train my mind.
Many times shall we pray? How many times shall we wait? How many times shall we?
So it goes.
How many times shall we? How many times shall we?
And how many times shall we wait? And how many times shall we go? How many times shall we know? How many times shall we? How many times shall we?
How do you run away from destiny when the truth trying to set you free? How do you let go of so much heart and pain when there's so many memories? Sunday morning is praying for peace. Monday feel like a tragedy. They say you've got to learn to live with this world's hypocrisy. Ooh, ooh, ooh. The only thing holding his head up high is a preacher man's prophecy. See, how many times shall we go?
Keep your head up,
How many times shall we wait?
fight, don't give up.
And how many times shall we know?
I hope you find your peace of mind.
How many times shall we wait? Hey. Still learning. Sorry.
Yeah, debut. We trying.
No apologies here at all needed. That's beautiful. I love that new piece. I love that new piece. And I'm gonna invite you to do one more. And the one song that has inspired probably at least two poems that I've written because of it.
Ooh.
Something beautiful.
Mm.
Some of you might have heard this before, but it's a foundational piece for me because it always reminds me of the two of you. Not just it's your song, but it reminds me of how you guys met. And I just got a reminder of that. I just love when you guys are performing, or even when we're just talking in our personal moments, the way you can just look at each other and still smile. You're not just smiling from this physical understanding, you're smiling from an understanding that's way beyond all of this. So if you'd honor me and
Sure.
do this last piece, that'd be great.
Something beautiful came to me. Something beautiful came to me. Something beautiful came to me, and I hope it comes to you. Something beautiful came to me. Something beautiful came to me. Something beautiful came to me, and I hope it comes to you. So let your soul dance for a while. Let your soul dance for a while. Let your soul dance for a while. Dancing free like the bird. Let your soul dance for a while. Let your soul dance for a while. Let your soul dance for a while. Dancing free like the bird. My intentions are these. My intentions are these. My intentions are these. That you fly free like a bird. So leave your body for a while. Leave your body for a while. Leave your body for a while and fly free like the bird. Leave your body for a while. Leave your body for a while. Leave your body for a while and fly free like the bird. Leave your body, leave your body, yeah. Leave your body for a while. Leave your body, leave your body, yeah. Leave your body for a while. Leave your body, leave your body, yeah. Leave your body for a while. Leave your body, Leave your body, yeah. Leave your body for a while and fly free like the bird. Fly free, yeah, yeah. Fly free, fly free, yeah. Fly free, yeah. Fly free. Fly free, fly free, yeah, yeah, fly free, oh, fly free, yeah, fly free, fly free, fly free, be free,
Audio.
free, fly free, oh.
Hey guys, audio is not coming through very well right now.
Well, I
Yep.
hope a little bit.
Hey, you know, well, that was what, like I said, that's what we were supposed to hear.
Yeah. Oh,
To hear.
sorry about that.
Oh, there's no apologies. Like when you do stuff live, you just have to go with it. Right?
Yeah.
Şuna darcada da ötkenleri de.
You go with it and you accept what comes from it. So I asked for to hear that beautiful song. I didn't ask for it to be so-called perfect or whatever. You know,
Oh.
if we heard, that's what we heard because I just love that the melody. I'm a person, I'm a hummer. I love to just hum when I'm working,
Mm.
writing poetry. I'm just humming, and that's one of the songs that I'm constantly humming.
Oh.
It's one of the pieces that just soothes my soul. So whenever the Reaper comes and gathers me, and whenever you guys decide whatever to do once I move over the other side of death's door, that's a song you can play.
All right.
That's a song you can play. So thank you for doing that. I just love your vibe and the soothing simplicity, but yet powerful messages behind your words. And
Mm.
that comes from both of you. So I'm grateful that every time I invite you to participate in the madness that I try to offer to the world, that you answer the call. I know it's early for you guys on a Sunday morning where you live. Um, so I appreciate that. How are you guys doing? How have you been? How's life?
So
Pretty
good.
good.
Yeah. Feeling refreshed.
Yeah, we just came back from Uganda at the beginning of this month.
Yeah,
So had a
Yeah.
month out there, and that was nice. Yeah, really nice. So
you get
just
to
readjusting to the cold.
you'll get back to Africa.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
We got to go back. Oh my
hmm
God. It was needed.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
What did you get from it outside of family and all that?
Um, I guess just perspective. The world is really such a big place, and sometimes it's easy to forget how big it is.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's huge, and there's so many perspectives, so many ways of expressing our humanity.
Hmm.
And yeah, it's just nice to have that reminder so that you can free yourself in the way one expresses, and the value of the multiple expressions as well. Yeah. And to
That's
try and travel as much. Yeah.
That's a
Travel.
great reminder, and I think that's one of the beauties of traveling outside of seeing the beauty of the world is remembering that there's so many different perspectives of this life,
Hmm.
and we do get trapped in our little echo chambers, thinking that that's everything, and it's just one small snippet of a bigger picture.
Right. Yeah.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
so your blend of what you offer to the world is storytelling through your experiences, through your African lenses, but a bigger lens of your humanity. So, kinfolk, people hear that name, but what does that really mean to you, kinfolk?
Yeah, to us, it's like a kindred spirit, really. Um, and specifically Kinfolk Nation. Like, so to us, it's not about your exterior. It's our spirits. If we connect, then we're kinfolk, you know? And
Mhm,
the reason why we say nation is because with a nation, there's so many different people. It's not just one type of people. So we're really encompassing, we're really inviting that into our community and trying to express that with the different ways. Like every time, depending on who's around, the song will be different, the vibe will be different. And that's just based off of who is in the nation at the time or who's around with us. So that's kind of kinfolk to us.
mhm. I
Mm-hmm.
love in one of the songs where you talked about, the money song, I'm not rich because of money, and then I added, I am rich because I am.
Mm.
Right? And we forget
Love
that.
that.
Right. This is, well, like I said, you guys inspire a lot of interesting thoughts when I listen to your music, to your words.
Mhm.
And you guys have been married now, what, 6 years?
Yeah,
Something like that?
6, 7,
6, 7.
6 years.
6, 7, yeah. Been together
Yeah.
8, 9, whatever. I met you guys when you were like, Dia was just a young, what, maybe 21, if that, just this young kid.
Yeah.
But in all the seconds and moments that have passed from that time till now, what have you learned most about yourselves, about your marriage?
Mm. I think one thing that I try to keep is joy in all things that I do.
Hmm.
Um, that's what brought us together, and that's what sustains. It doesn't mean you don't have low times
Hmm.
and happy times, but just a certain level of joy. And and yeah, I think, yeah, man, even when you're married or even when you're on your own, I think it's good to have vision, you know, direction and also believe in yourself. You work on, you help each other's dreams come true. You know, what is your dream?
Hmm.
My dream, and how can we make it happen? And I think um also what I'm learning is that we each individually have the power to do it. And then collectively we come together and we can do it. But sometimes, maybe when I was younger, I would always look around. Everybody else can do this. Everybody else can do this. So they're not really looking at what I can do and what I can bring in and what I can also trail forward. Um, and so I think in that sense, it makes it more of like an equal partnership because you're not always looking to somebody else and they're not always looking to somebody else. But if you if you believe in yourself too and you can bring things forward, I feel like it's good.
Hmm.
That's what I've learned so far.
I think to me there's the part of I'm just realizing how much more there is to still grow and to still learn. At least just as the years go, you're like, oh my God, there's so much. There's just so much that this life is very expansive just on an individual level. So to just be patient, and not try to rush to get to somewhere because it's in some form um there's no it's like there's no arrival point. You reach some point, then there's the next thing, you reach another, there's the next. So it's like, okay, you know what, this thing just seems to be as long as you get yours, so just ride it the best way you can.
Hmm.
um and to me, I'm just lucky that we get to share this life together. Yeah, because we have like we get to share a viewpoint and travel, like even traveling together and seeing where I grew up from a different lens, and sharing that lens together was really nice.
Mm.
But also that up to now, I still get the joy of of looking forward to spending time just to chill together, and I still find that very interesting.
We don't have enough time together. It's just crazy.
I still
You know, you have a little one you're raising as well. So,
yes,
Yeah.
yeah, and that experience as well. So, and
mhm,
yeah, just that how much, because you think and then now it's like, oh my God, there's so much to know, and I just, I'm at least now I'm more open. I thought I was more open to learning, but I'm even more open to learning more now and just listening to people's stories and this life experience because it seems to be, yes, simpler, but way more than I've ever imagined.
mhm.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of life. It's never just one thing, and it is one thing, right? Like
Mhm.
in Desmond Tutu's quote, you know, when he says, it's not just individual.
Mhm.
The just part means the individual is important, but it's not just the individual. All things are connected, right? So,
Yeah.
the beauty for me is just watching where you guys have gotten to now. I remember the exact moment watching you guys, and maybe you guys didn't want to acknowledge it, but I remember the moment when I just looked at you and I go, yeah, right. And then
What
here
moment is that?
we were doing. I invited you to one of my talks at one of the schools I used to go to.
Oh,
Uh, uh, U Trophy. I think Jada was there.
All right. Yeah,
Rand,
Randy.
maybe Rand.
Randy was there. Kind of the original Kinfolks, and yeah, I just remember. I think Randy was up or Jada was doing his thing, and I just looked at the two of you, and yeah, and I think it was just the way Dia was looking at Trophy. I'm going, okay,
No, it was the other way around.
yeah, I know. Every time I tell that story, you do the exact same.
I think so.
So you have a boy in this world that you're raising. I know your hopes for him. What do you hope for this world? What's your hope for our humanity?
Yo, a economic liberation. Let people be able to live how they want to live their lives, honestly. Um, Diverse options.
Hmm.
Just you don't have I yeah, man, like I you don't have to live in it shouldn't just be one way of life. You should be able to live in the different ways you want to live your life. I don't think we're on this earth, all of us spirit beings, just here to hustle every day, trying to make money or even if you have money, then you get a house, that's cool. Get a house, get a car. But what is it that we're really here for?
Mm.
Even if you have everything, right? Like let's say you have everything. Now I have, $1 billion. I got a trillion. What is it that you need then after? Will that satisfy you, right? So then what are you really looking for if you have all that then? And so I think my hope is that for everybody is that they really step into their purpose and their destiny and that they don't get derailed or deferred somehow. They do what they're really here supposed to do, whatever that is, right? I'm curious to see that. So that's what my hope is for my children.
Mm.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Your children?
Yeah, we have a daughter. We have a daughter.
No, I know that, but I was thinking, is there some news that I haven't known since I last talked to you guys?
Trophy scared.
All right, all right, all right. I don't mind being a grandfather to another, trust me. So, um, let's do a quick word association before we wrap up. I'm just gonna say what comes to my head, and I invite you just to do the same. So, love,
Peace,
Patience. Yeah.
okay. Poetry,
music,
Freedom.
human,
I heard people.
Mhm. Indeed.
Money.
Power.
Play.
Consciousness.
Expansive.
Expansive.
I just saw stars.
Okay. Water.
Life.
Flow.
Woman.
Life.
Birth.
God.
Life.
No words.
Marriage.
Connection.
Man, life.
Could be for all of them. Yes, yes. Kinfolk.
Nation.
Last one. Hope.
Randy.
You say Randy?
You know what? He's actually the one that named the House of Hope the House of Hope.
Okay.
And we used to have this wooden structure in our house, like that we painted, HOPE, and would always have it hope, hope, hope everywhere. And it would just be sitting in our house. And then he wrote a story one day. He's like, went to go visit the House of Hope.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's how he's the one who also named me Lady Dia.
Okay. I only just found out he's living in Paris now, so
Yes,
yeah,
yeah.
we're gonna try and connect and have a video chat. So
Mm-hmm.
anyway, guys, you know, I mean, we do it quite regularly, but I could talk to you guys for hours. But I'm just grateful for you to spend some time with us this Sunday to bring your flavor of your creativity, your understanding of spirit, of our humanity, the spirit of Ubuntu, which I think we have always experienced probably from the very first moment we met. Right? And that's one of the things I just love about you guys. I love the fact that we can love each other and share and talk and agree and disagree and argue and fight and love, all in the Ubuntu spirit, never taking it personal, always hopefully feeling free to be who we are with each other and say what needs to be said without feeling that the other party is going to be judgmental. Not judging. There's a difference between judging and being judgmental. And I don't think we've ever been judgmental with each other. We always seek to understand, even when we aren't agreeing. So I love that about we flow. Like I said, you know, you guys inspire me. Something beautiful is always in my spirit. It's inspired at least two pieces, which I've shared with you guys. Anyway, I just want to thank you. I want to thank you for being here a Sunday at the Corner and for sharing with the other poets around the world what you have to offer. I invite you all to unmute for a second, ladies and gentlemen, and just show your appreciation for Lady Dia and Trophy of Kinfolk Nation.
Wow, wow,
I
it's really grateful.
I
We
have a
can
question.
stop it.
I
Yes,
have a
sir.
question. Have they released anything like on Bandcamp or SoundCloud? Any of their work?
We have a few of our works on SoundCloud.
SoundCloud?
Oh, Spotify, sorry. On Spotify, on YouTube. And yeah, Something Beautiful is on there. As well as we have a song, Little Boy, with our son. That's on there. And we will be releasing a lot more music this year. We're really excited. And
You might consider Bandcamp. Spotify rips off artists. I would do Bandcamp because they do a more fairly. I can't think of the word I want to use, but I would highly recommend that.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, yeah. And we're just talking about that actually with Spotify.
Yeah, your music is your poetry and music is there's I was struck by a kind of spiritual and an ethereal quality to it. So if you saw me with my eyes closed, I was just letting it resonate.
Mm.
Yeah, it
As Henry's
was.
talking, I was just thinking, the three of you guys should really connect. Henry, you guys will hear it because he's going to be accompanying Alexandra very shortly, but uh, amazing instrumentalist and a man of many talents in bringing music tones together. So I think you guys would have lots in common. Who knows? It could be a collaboration that comes out of it. So, and he's very knowledgeable. So I invite you guys to connect. Thank you for that, Henry. That's very good advice.
Yes, definitely.
Um, I do hope the rest of you appreciate it and enjoyed it. I'm with Henry. I find it's always moving. It's always very spiritual for me. Just listening to you guys and your words. Before I invite the other poets to do their thing, this is just one of the pieces that came out of that song, "Something Beautiful," that came to me. This is a bit old now, but I called it "Tomorrow's Joy." Upon the winds, upon the wings of a whisper, beauty floated onto my thoughts, suspended in time, rested for a while. An old promise blossomed anew into a mesmerizing sweet melody that lifted me higher and higher, to be one with zealous clouds and life's golden rays of sunlight. My joy runneth into a chorus. I returned as jazz-filled teardrops to rain upon my bohemian soul in anticipation of tomorrow's joy. That's just one piece that came from just listening to your music on a regular basis. So anyway, guys, thank you so much thank you for being here. Once again, thank you for answering the call. Ladies and gentlemen, one last time, real quick, just give them a big hand and thank you for participation. You guys get to now just sit back and enjoy and listen to the fine poets that are here in support of your features. So all right. Thank you again. Thank you. All right, now is the segment of the Sunday at the Corner we call the Not Ready for Prime Time Poets. Once again, we're all prime time. It's just a play on words. I love what the Not Ready for Prime Time represents. It's something that I stole from Saturday Night Live back in the day when, like I said, when they were funny and they had the Not Ready for Prime Time players. So it's just a take on words. But I always invite people to this recital. This is not an open mic, so the poets that are here to recite either express an interest to recite or I ask them directly. It's just inviting other poets to come and share their works in support of the feature. So there's many ways to do it. It's just how I choose to do it. So um, if anyone needs anything before we get started, let's go. But as usual, is tradition at Sunday at the Corner that after our feature, I invite my friend Alexandra from the island of Greece, which I affectionately say now because I know it's not an island. I kind of said it one day as a mistake and was quickly corrected, and now it's stuck. But Alexandra is another amazing artist, a visual artist, and she has the good fortune of having Mr. Henry Lohman in the company. So, Alexandra, my friend, the mic is yours.
I love, I've always loved Dia's voice when she starts or ends the meetings and Sophie's guitar. And when I first heard Henry playing his balalaika, I thought I would really love to have him accompany me. And then we just kind of, I don't know whether that's good or bad for Henry, but we kind of got stuck together. Bring it on, life, every precarious. Acadians, children, the prelude era. Around around each other, through sharing, through centuries of darkness, being escaping our labored sweat, our bitter patience, dissolving our struggle into the salt of the
Okay,
tear.
can we stop a sec? We will start again, but Alexander, I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I'm having problems picking up your audio. And Henry, your music is very powerful. I don't know if it's drowning out or it's just a technical issue. So when you guys watch this video, I'm not cutting anything out. I want people to see this is what happens here is what I put out. So, but just, yeah, if you want to try it and see if we can get it so we can actually fully embrace both your words and Henry's music.
I think, Henry, you came forward at some point, or
Yeah. And Alexandra, like right where you are, where you're speaking from, your audio is very good. I noticed a couple of times you kept moving away, so I don't know if that's the problem.
No, I'm right here all the time.
Okay.
It's Henry. He has to put his original sound off, maybe, and move back a little. I'm not sure. He's the one. He knows better than I do.
It's all good. It's all good, guys. There's no apologies or anything needed. All right, let's try it again then. Yep.
Can you hear me now?
Oh yeah. Yes.
Okay.
And no, pick it up from the top. Yeah.
Bring it on, life, ever precarious, safe haven, every toiling, accomplished goal. Arcadians, children of the pre-lunar era. Your struggles, my struggles, entwining around each other. Pain sweetening through sharing. Waiting through centuries of darkness for a miracle to shine. Beams of dreams escaping the narrow bars of reality. A labored sweat, our bitter patience, dissolving our struggles into the salt of the tear. Bring it on, life, every shatterable righteous law, every daggered, jubilant victory. Gathered humans, children of the absolute word. Your truth, my truth, cowering around each other. Eternal debt for the unjust. Eternal gratitude for the just. Lightning condemnation, defying mortality, determined to win all battles. Fiery anger sung by muses, filling our truths into the tip of the flame. Bring it on, life, every fluctuating precious bond, every undulating sweet desire. Heteroluminescence, children of the solar cosmos. Your light, my light, shimmering around each other. Distant in cold alienation, connecting in warm communion. Our sacred mating, reflecting infrared wavelength. Invisible bright frequencies, shapes, and colors becoming visible. Absorbing and transmitting photons. Rippling up into the foam of the wave. Bring it on, life, every delicate fine spring. Making Dionysians, children of the primordial passion, my passions, creating around each other. heart flooding with hues of emotions, the aesthetic touch guaranteeing endless splendor. Ideal voices and thoughts flowing like seagulls between land and sea, carrying elevated ideas through space and time, raising our passions to the upsurging of the spirit. Bring it to new life, every vulnerable, steadfast vision, every evanescent, ultimate flight. Apollonians, children of the winged evolution, your quintessence, our quintessence, goldening around each other. The sound okay?
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was just like with Deer and Trophy. There were moments where it was static, or I think a lot of it is just a connection. But for the most part, it was very good. I mean, we've done this is like the third or fourth time we've done this with both you and Henry, and I think the other times were fine. I don't know. I just think that,
Yeah, I wasn't moving from my mic, so
yeah.
Henry is the one who's sort of
I think too it could be the connection because I've been the connection has been weird all week. So same with Trophy and Leah. If nothing changes, then a lot of it is the connection. This is why I don't, whenever we're trying to perform, I mean, if you're just doing a singular recital, it tends to be a little bit different. When you have multiple voices on one mic, it might be different competing levels. I don't know. What I all I do know is we have the ability through this to connect. It's not perfect at times. This is why I always invite people. It's an opportunity for you to really tune in on your listening, and dial in and pay attention fully, and take from it what you get. So there's no apology needed. To me, it doesn't taint the work. If anything, it makes me want to focus more on the work, both on what you're saying and what Henry's doing. So, excuse me. Hopefully, one day we can herd the cats all in the same direction, to quote my friend Ian, and be in a situation where we could be live to hear you both at the same time. I think that would be a really treat, a beautiful treat. So, thank you very much for that. Thank you, Henry, for your tunes and your. There was a moment there where your plucking almost felt like you weren't playing. I'm sorry. What's the name of your instrument again?
So balalaika.
Like balalaika. There was I think it was about the midpoint. There was a couple of plucks that you did. It almost sounded like not a piano, but like an organ, and it was just the perfect blend of what you were offering with Alexandra. So yeah, I look forward to
That's
hearing that
yeah,
part of it.
that's good. That's good. That's kind of my aim is to find different or enhanced voices. I actually reset the neck on this instrument, so it's actually playing better than it was, and it was already playing well enough that I used it in some live performances with the orchestra. But just this week, I reset everything, and it's resonating even more. There, you won't notice it on Zoom, unfortunately, but there are some overtones and harmonics that had happened, like even within the body of the instrument. And I do try to explore possibilities. So when you hear, if you're hearing an organ, and again, this was not electric, I did not run this through an amp or anything. I have an amp right next to me, but this was all acoustic. And I use it mostly acoustically, believe it or not. I only use really the electronics built into it if I'm doing electroacoustic music with it. But acoustically, what you heard was all acoustic phenomena.
Yeah.
So
No, I'm
yeah,
grateful for it. Beautiful. It's a beautiful sound, and like I said, there was that moment I remember, like I said, midpoint where, or I think it was midpoint where just what you had plucked at that moment. Well, actually, there's
yeah.
3 or 4 notes that it was just a beautiful synchronicity between
Well,
what.
that's what I'm. That's what I'm going for. I mean, look, your featured artists were the epitome of synchronicity, and I was hoping to bring some of that spirit in terms of what we were doing to complement,
Well,
their presentation earlier. I
you,
mean, I
you definitely did. You definitely did. At least in my ears and my heart, I felt it. I felt it a lot. That's what I'm saying. I hope one day we can experience this in the flesh because I think it'll be a different experience. But I'm grateful for this. I'm grateful for this moment, and I'm grateful for what I just heard from both of you. And I'm thankful for you for being here. And Alexandra, I love you dearly. I'm grateful for your constant support. So thank you both once again. Thank you. All right.
I think on Zoom they haven't managed to synchronize, two voices or
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
voice and an instrument. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm sure it's probably something they're working on because I mean obviously Zoom is such a big platform that everyone uses. So and I'm sure we're not the only show that has multiple voices or tries to bring music and poetry together. So
Well,
I
when I take these tracks, which I've done, I've recorded them off of the YouTube videos that you post, and I remix them in GarageBand. Believe it or not, I do some remixing, and I can bring out details that you don't hear here. It's interesting. I've figured out ways. It came from a lot of trial and error and a lot of practice, and I can enhance Alexandra's voice, bring it through equalizing it, and at the same time kind of get a better blend. I think, again, it's a subjective thing, but yeah.
no, I think not today, but obviously I think maybe you and I should jump on a video call. You can maybe just give me a few pointers on how to maybe maximize the audio that I have so it can enhance the show better.
Yeah, we could do that.
All right.
And
Let me
also,
mute let me mute now.
I
Sorry.
just wanted to say that although Dia and Trophy are in the same room,
Hmm.
again, I could hear Dia's voice more than Trophy and his
Yeah.
guitar. So it's even when you're in the same room.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's just the competing sounds for the one mic and kind of thing. So I'm sure they'll figure that out. But it's still beautiful for me. It still comes through in a way that resonates. So
And if
anyway,
I can
let
say sorry really fast, I loved your guys' collaboration. And I was like, yes, it makes sense. The music. I was asking Trophy, I said, did she have music before? So my dream is the four of us would collaborate. That's it.
yeah. That's what I said. I think there's a synergy between you guys for sure. So I'm glad that you heard that. All right. All right. From brilliance to brilliance, let's continue on. I'd like to call to the mic my other partner in crime, Artemis. Artemis, the mic is yours.
Thank you, thank you. First, I'd like to say to Dia and Trophy, I really enjoyed the melodies, the sounds of your voices together, harmonious. It was so soothing and so smooth and so inspiring. And for my poem that I'm going to read today, it's Mothers of the Sun. Born under the kiss of the sun, they carry warmth in their souls, strength in their spines, and stories in their eyes. They are compassionate and wise. Mothers of nations, builders of dreams, their hands weave futures from threads of hope. Their voices, rivers of wisdom, carving paths through the hardest stone. Their hearts provide their families a sturdy home, with laughter that defies despair and grace that commands the storm. They rise like the baobab tree, rooted deep, reaching high, wrapped in colors of the earth and sky. Their beauty is the rhythm of the drum, the pulse of their heart, the song of life itself, resonating with the dark continent's abundant wealth. Each step they take carries centuries, each breath a prayer for tomorrow. They are able to find peace in time of sorrow. Queens without thrones, warriors without swords, they are the guardians of the sacred dance. Without constraints, throughout their village, they prance. African mother, you are the cradle of humanity, the fire that lights the dark. You are the womb that births the spark, that fuels who we are and allows us to be in peace.
Mm-hmm. You know, the more I hear your poetry, the more in love I fall with it. Yeah. And the more I just, it's just affirmation. You're a brilliant writer. You're a brilliant writer. The storytelling is exquisite. So thank you so much. Thank you not just for being a poet here, but being a part of the craziness that Angie and I have been doing. For those that may not know Artemis, we invited Artemis to be an admin and help us to manage the Inspired Poetry Corner, and she gladly accepted. So I get to experience her not just as a poet, but when we have our production meetings, and she can just see how crazy I am. So I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, from brilliance to brilliance. I want to just change things up real quickly. I want to bring someone up because I want to make sure she has time. She has to leave a little early, so I want to make sure she has time to get us up together before she has to leave. So I'm going to ask my friend Leah to come to the mic if she's ready.
I am. Thank you very much. You said 5 minutes, so I brought a few that I haven't gotten to read with you guys before. Some of it is, extended metaphor. Some of it is more kind of atmospheric, but it gives kind of a range of the stuff that I love to put out and to write. And so the first is called "Take the Dog for a Walk," and so take the dog for a walk. I know it's raining and darker, sure, but if we don't get out, he'll do nothing but bark. I'll shout till neither of us can take any more. Water on my cheeks, not a good start. The dog lead pulls me this way and that. Sometimes I wish he'd stop to bark at a cat. Soaking to the skin, not too smart. I guess I just thought I'd try. Before dinner sat too well to go too far from the couch, You should go, but you wonder why. Dog gets loose, out of my self-control, chasing it, shushing it, constant ask, feel like sitting in my bar and task it to someone else to patrol. I don't have the energy for it all the time. So damn needy, it never leaves off. Begging for attention at the slightest cough, attention drawn, I can only pretend it's not mine. Believe me, I'd ditch it, dump it if I could, but I'm stuck feeding it, walking it, in rain and sun when it's dark or lit. Looks like I'm living with this dog for good. And that is kind of based on the whole black dog metaphor of people who live with kind of mental health conditions that never seem to leave you be. This one was more about, trying to get through dating life, and again goes on an old idiom. It's called "wash my hair." Honestly, didn't I just? It's too long, tangles. Never behaves. Straight when I want curls when I want straight, wavy when I want anything else. I should cut it. Should I cut it? Why don't I cut it? Cutting it won't help. Sigh. The rest of the package seems to be wanting. The paint job, sloppy, mismatched, never did get it right. Who has time? The dress, too tight. Will anyone know if in the dark of the bar? Will they care? Who knows? Thin, curvy, front-loaded, back-loaded. Need a consultant in marketing just to follow the packaging guidelines. What a mess. Now, really? Now? The brush won't even go through that knot in my hair and my stomach. Maybe a diet? What's her name? What's she on now? Does it work? Could it change? The phone? What? Go out? A date? Sorry, I'm washing my hair. Thank you. So this is also one about going out, but it was when I was out, and I usually I go writing in a local place, and it sometimes it feels like we're supposed to like make sure that we're going out and being social, but just going out and being around other humans is being social, and you're a part of everybody's evening. So everyone else in the crowded, noisy bar, everyone else is with everyone else. Groups gather with laughter and chat and romance and gossip and drinks and domestics and breakups and get togethers, everyone else but me. But I'm still here with everyone else in the bar, in the noise, apart from and a part of their noise, their smiles, their gossip. Who's that girl dressed for a date but all alone? Me, enjoying the energy and cocktails, 2 for 1. I don't have to share. I let the sound and the music and the life surround me. I feel it on my skin, vibrate life that I'm still part of, alone or not. Why not? Why not live in the background of others living? Aren't we all? Just because they don't sit with me, that they don't know me, doesn't mean we aren't connected. We all chose this place. We all chose this time. Why not? Why? Everyone else has been where I am. Everyone else knows what I know. Life is noisy, and laughter, and gossip, and romance, and heartache, and drinks, and chat, and domestics, and get togethers. Why break it up? Aren't we all everyone else? And do I have time for one more? Okay, it's a very short one. I wrote it as part of a writing workshop I used to do with my students, and it is very, very much the style that I like so much, is about sensory detail and feeling it, not just reading it. So this one is called Winter Dawn. A muffled silence greets the first gray beams where floating flakes of frozen lacework fall, softly, silently, and a whisper seems as loud and leery as a legion call. Still blinking with sleep, slipping from the warm into the crisp air at the cusp of day, with thoughts thickening, trying to take some form, gazing on frozen beauty, not to say, but breathe in the metallic taste of air, soaking in the sound of no sound at all, waiting and wishing the world was as clear as this winter's dawn and this first snowfall. This piece of this perfect moment shine alone. When I hold the memory, I'm back home. Thank you.
Oh man, your writing is so exquisite, and those first 2 pieces of social commentary, just the way you capture real life, is just brilliant.
Yeah, sometimes I don't get to pick the topic. The topic picks me. So, the take the dog for a walk, I really did just want to do some sensory thing, and then it just became a whole metaphor on dealing with the black dog that sits in the corner and won't shut up sometimes. So
I think you're brilliant, and I think like I know right now you're feeling you haven't written in a while, but I think you have so much that you've written. Maybe just recite a little bit more, because it's not just what's new; it's what you've written before that you need to share more. No, you don't need to, but I invite you to share more and more. And
no, I think I do. I think I need to get back onto
yeah,
regular
yeah,
things. So I'm gonna
yeah.
try.
I think if you recite a little bit more, it might you'll see it'll be amazed. And Dr. Ingram, if you're listening, I think Leah is a potential voice for your show. She's a brilliant, brilliant poet. So brilliant poet. No pressure. I'm not saying you have to. I'm just, I'm always looking out for you. I just think she's a brilliant voice for what you do. So anyway, Leah, thank you so much, and enjoy your whatever you're doing this afternoon. So
I'm gonna put my link. It's to the work that I have and things like that. And if you want to check out some of the stories behind the poems, I do that on my YouTube channel. So
yeah, and then for all of you, put your links, put your information in the chat. Don't feel that you can't. Please, please share, 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 share. in here or even in the Inspired Poetry Corner group page, I welcome you sharing your information for how we can reach out and get in touch with your work and how you, and however you choose to share it. So once again, Leah, thank you. Good to see you, and I hope the coming days of this year will bring you the full cycle of life's experiences. So. All right, from brilliance to brilliance. I want to get this young man in before, because right now it seems that we have good connection. So, our friend Charles from Malawi. Charles, the mic is yours, brother.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you right now. You're good. So, knock her out.
Great, great. So I'm going to recite maybe two pieces. It depends on my connection. So it's been a long time. I'm Saro, James, and it's really quite amazing to join these amazing voices, singers, and also poets from my heart. Thank you very much, and congratulations to those who just performed recently. It was really quite nice. This is the piece I wrote about Palestine. It's quite long. It's just quite a long time. So I'm going to read because I'm not such fun in performing again. So here you go. Deprived hope. From slums to arid Dead Sea, our songs of sorrow are crushed. Our throats, the media being interfered by your and radiations. We can no longer be heard from the other side, for you shattered our lives and folded hearts. Wrecked we have become, consciousness we have lost. Taste of life, we have no more hope. Thank you. That's the first piece. The next piece, am I heard?
Yes, Charles, you're coming through loud and clear.
Thank you. The next piece is about human trafficking that I was really inspired by some videos that I came across on YouTube. So I had watched some of the videos how uh, Malawian females being deprived outside. So here goes. Many are lost, few are saved. We were not happy the way our grandma was, but she was comfortable of hers going to the farm. Every day is dawn with my eyes alone, my mouth left wide and open. Our village welcomed the sun with its hearts weak but beautiful. Gracefully the sun rose above our hatched houses, 3 seasons with its storms and calm. I was the only daughter of the widow, leaving my 3 daughters with my pure mother. In a quest of changing a life, transforming my grandma's life, giving my only daughters the best I could, my family life. I went overseas between mountains and valleys, crippling in hundreds of men. I was employed to work as a maiden and not as your sensational satisfier. The salary was just for domestic work and not to calm your brutal gun in your legs. Our history with banned papers showed slavery was abolishedly seized, but why in some part of Africa, women slavery still exists? Or some papers are torn when it's clearly written. Every night was not night. Some were dark, others were light. After work, there was another one, not rest but least. In the middle of sleep, he used to come, not to seduce me, but to abuse me, strangling me while stringing me in my hair, introducing his gun not only on the upper course, but also on the lower course. He was enough between my two rivers, but hundreds of his friends were many to stand. My back and cheeks became their Guluwankulu drums. I was tormented in my mind, born and raised free of diseases by their volcanic treatment, imitated and exposed me to mental disorders. Soup walking, solve me, illusion, take me back home. After 3 seasons, death took my soul and left my body for my home. My mother was waiting for a living daughter, but now she's dreadful with the daily body. Men are lost like me, and few are saved. My sisters from Tanzania, my sisters from Kenya, my sisters from Burundi, my sisters from Malawi are still there, groaning in agony for the survival. So this is a tale of a young woman from Chirazulu, Malawi. Thank you so much.
You know, Charles, you never cease to amaze me. For those that know, Charles is a young man that lives in a refugee camp in Malawi, and I'm so grateful our paths crossed. This is a young man that refuses to allow his present circumstances to dictate how he chooses to be, and it does not dampen his hope and his passion for helping our humanity. And from where he is, he does so much in helping the other young poets in his camp, in reaching out to others, in the associations that he's involved in. I think, Charles, you came in fourth in the World Storytelling Championships last year.
Yes, yes. And I'm
Charles,
also participating this year.
you also what? Sorry?
And I'm also participating for 2024. It will be taking place this month.
Nice.
Yeah.
Charles has co-authored and edited a few different anthologies. This young man, and he's trying to get into university. So if you haven't already reached out to him, please do get to know this young man. Find ways to help him because his heart is just so big. And for someone who's living in such an interesting experience in the environment, and his desire not just to uplift himself, but to uplift others, I find that so inspiring. And we've been fortunate to do a number of things, and I hopefully will not hopefully we will do more in the coming year and years to come. So thank you. I know
Indeed.
connection is not always easy. I'm still working
Thank
on,
you.
you're still going to hear from me
Yeah.
because I'm looking to do some leadership work with Charles and his other poets to see how I can
Thank,
offer my services to help these young people. But please
thank
reach
you
out to
very
them.
much.
Oh, you're welcome, Charles.
And the last word.
Yes.
I'm currently working on an anthology called Resonance and Roots. This is about mental health and social and environmental issues. If any poet here in this Sunday is willing to contribute, they can just write one piece on the chosen themes, as I mentioned, and they can just reach out to me on my Facebook, Charles Lipanda, or my email from Royal James if they want to participate, because it's a grand anthology that I've ever worked, because I've been receiving some submissions from around the world. It's really amazing, quite amazing. Yeah, thank you.
I will put it in the group for you, Charles. What you had sent me through Facebook Messenger. I'll cut and paste it and put it in with your email. And if anyone is interested in submitting to this anthology,
Thank you.
oh, you're welcome.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
I think since I've met you now, this is what your third anthology that you're putting together or you're part of, right? Something like that.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Like I said, he keeps busy, and like I said, he's very inspiring. So thank you, Charles. I'm glad the connection held out. So.
Thank you. Thank you.
From brilliance to brilliance. This next, my friend Mary is here from India, and talk about another humanitarian who uses her power of words and her voice to highlight issues that I think we need to be aware of. Whether you agree with it or not, the way she captures it is always a reminder of our humanity. Mike is yours, my friend. Good to have you here. It's been a while.
Thank you, Rowley. I wish I'd been here more often. I wish I could be, and hopefully I will be. Today's big news is, of course, the ceasefire in Gaza. And I'm going to start reading a poem, which is, it's not directly to do, it's an old poem. It's what we all need to aspire to be. And that the poem is called World Citizens. Poets of the world, we must unite against all walls that seek to divide into race, religion, tribe, nation. Earth made us humans, nature's creation. When powerful rulers seek to expand beyond their borders into another's land, We sigh in relief it's not nearby, but on our screens we hear people cry. Images of horror enter our homes, bombs falling, tanks firing, smoke engulfing, people in grief. Shame if we can't bring relief. Let's unite to fight all mongers of war with peaceful resistance to unholy laws that deprive citizens of freedom and the right to choose their future, defying oppressors' might. This other poem, it was written a little earlier when aid was being denied. Aid was being denied to reach the people in Gaza. Crack the rock that blocks, refusing to budge despite waters circumventing it, riding over it, nudging it to permit the flow. Crack the rock that blocks, penetrated, disintegrated, dislodged for stopping the flow of sparkling water from hilltop to thirsty plain. And this one is just a very recent poem with fires in California and, of course, the fires in Gaza too. Two fires, different countries, different continents. One a few days old, gobbling homes of millionaires. The other several months old, killing thousands of hapless humans. One fanned by rebellious winds, consuming antiques, paintings, Oscars, and more. The other fed by lethal bombs, killing doctors, babies, mothers, and more. Evacuation orders have some hurriedly packing cars driving to hotels. Evacuation orders have others bundling belongings into and hurriedly huddling into tents. Everywhere homes crumble to ashes. Everyone loses personal treasures. A lost one's last piece of clothing, family photographs, award citations. Everyone suffers. Finally, ceasefire, prompted by fear. When puny humans fall at the mercy of uncontrollable winds and raging fires. I'd like to end with a much quieter poem. It's called Candles in the Wind. It started as a single flame, gentle, steady, spreading a glow to penetrate darkness. Another candle picks up the flame, doubles light. More candles, more flames, illuminating church, temple, home. Breeze makes them flutter, bouncing shadows of idols, of walls. Room full of flames, dancing shades of grey and wavering flickers. A sudden gust of wind, flames sizzle, slowly die. Only one flame remains, silently shedding wax drops. Thank you. That's it.
Excuse me. I love your stuff, Mayor. I do. I love. I thank you for first of all sharing Two Fires with me. I think it was last week, and then getting to hear it. could just feel your empathy in your words, in your poetry. Right? It gives you a moment to stop and whether you agree with the topic or what you're positioning, but it invites you to stop and just listen and take in what it is that's being said. And can you feel it, whether you agree with it or not? We're all going to differ, but can you put yourself in that moment and what you're offering? And I just love the way I love the way you bring your words together to talk about things that are very difficult to talk about. And you
But
don't
it's
have,
necessary.
it is
It's necessary.
very necessary. And that's the beauty of poetry, and that's what us poets are supposed to do. It doesn't matter what side of the aisle or what you believe in, but like I always say, I don't always agree with poetry, particularly, like I use Richard, my friend Richard. I don't always agree with his political viewpoints. But can I put myself in a moment to appreciate what he's offering and to listen to his viewpoint? That's the only way we'll come to any kind of understanding, when we can sit and listen to each other. And I just love the way you bring your poetry that invites that kind of a empathetic listening. So well done. You don't have to apologize. I know how busy you are. I'm grateful whenever you have time to share your poetry and your presence with us. So thank you. Hopefully we'll
Thanks.
see you a few times this year. But I know how busy you get. So good to have you back. Good to have you here. Excuse me. All right, from brilliance to brilliance, we'll stay in India. This poet, this is another force of nature. My friend Millie, vastly becoming I will hope one day a very requested poet. Brilliant, brilliant wordsmith. The mic is yours, Millie.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Nice to meet with all of you. Namaskar from India. Now I am going through my first poem. The name of the first poem is Hope for Destination. On the nameless road, people attempt to capture something new. Sometimes they find their destination, sometimes they don't. Still, they are fascinated by the natural peace. People push away, but nature attracts more. This was my first poem, and now I am going through my second one. The title of the poem, On the Way of Eternity. Sometimes you have to walk alone. You can't walk all the way with everyone. Some things you don't have to share with anyone. You have to talk to yourself. Some moments you just have to realize yourself. Some thoughts can't be shared with lovable one. Sometimes it feels good to be alone. Don't want to be with anyone. I wish wandering alone wherever I feel. I walk alone on the empty road. Wonderful blue sky above my head. I sing with colorful birds. I walk on the path of eternity. I walk alone, alone, and alone.
Beautiful piece. Wow.
This is my second one, and is there the time I'll go through my third poem. Name of my third poem is Create a Moment. If you want to leave something in this earth, spend your time through some beautiful moments. If you want to give a gift to this world, you present poems like flowers.
Mm.
That is the best creation of this world. If you want to be the pride of this world, you generate your creativity without restraint. If you want to live in the hearts of people forever, you devote yourself for the helpless people. If you want to be in nature, immerse yourself in it and create poetry for nature. If you want to give something to the world, distinguish yourself in a moment of time. Distinguish yourself in a moment of time. Thank you so much for this, giving me this beautiful chance.
Distinguish yourself in a moment of time. I think you just did that in a multitude of moments of time. That second piece, what's the name of that second piece you did?
Second poem.
Yeah, what was the name of it again?
Name of the second poem.
Yeah.
What?
Sometime.
On the way of eternity.
Mm. And I love the reference. Sometimes you just have to walk it alone, or you just yeah. That's just a brilliant piece. I felt that piece very strong.
Yeah, if you have a link, please put it in because I'd love to hear more of your stuff. It really resonated.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I'm really honored.
You're brilliant. Well, and it's just amazing. Same with May and anyone from that didn't grow up with English. And I know in India, English is taught in schools and stuff, but it's still not your first language. And to think that you have to write a poem and maybe you think it in your original language and have to put it into English, you captured that process so well that, man,
Well, I do that for every poem. Greek English, Greek English.
Well, I didn't forget you, but I use you as an example all the time. But no, I just Millie, you've just captured it so well, and yeah, your poetry just resonates with me greatly. So
this is the beautiful moment that I am spending now with all of you.
well, like I said, you've distinguished yourself in many moments. So thank you very much. Thank you.
I want to be with you, all of you.
Well, one day we'll hopefully do that soon. We'll do something where we can all get together. But from brilliance to brilliance, I always say is not jest. Not jest. He is the carrier of the light. He's the man that we look to at times for his words to bring some rest to the chaos and the madness and remind us of our humanity and our spiritual makeup and being. So I like to call to the mic. It's the lantern carrier.
Thank you. Thank you. You can hear me, right?
Yes, sir.
Greetings and such harmony and oneness with Kinfolk Spirit and everyone else in the room. And spring's greeting, dawn's greeting for 2025 to everyone. Shades of luminance. Loyalty kissed my mother's womb, going forward to shape my character, environment, and culture, relationship to peers and country, my steadfast devotion to duty, to partnership in love and tenacity. Purpose has always driven me in life, ever since I awoke intuitively to the knowledge of self, recognizing that I am a soul, experiencing the duality of joy and sorrow, striving to become one with its innate divinity, its true source. Belief was the light of hope which kept me moving, even in the abyss of my loneliness. It kindled my trust in doctrines before manifesting itself as faith in the mystic fire of my experiences. Progress is a voice of evolution that showed, like the Wright brothers, that one can always soar higher. Like the phoenix, that there is no limit to human experiences, only a continuous or self-transcending journey of growth. Excellence was the way I paid attention to detail, like a fine wine, to ensure that every aspect of its aroma, taste, and environment is amenable to all, not to mention the decor, ambience, energy, and affinity of its surroundings. Pride divine is a well-deserved state for which I toiled, like bringing up children, watching with the joy of the heart as they surpass me in conduct, excellence, and charisma. Unity walks with me, like my, sorry, dry. Unity walks with me, like my favorite flowers, each being aware of their own strengths, not competing, but blending harmoniously to create an exquisite garden of radiant love. Gratitude is my very life breath. It rightly is my legacy from the truth eternal, sustaining me in my darkest hours like it does the night, whispering to my soul that love is all. Glory comes in guises, carrying the attire of leopards and snakes. I start with status, fame, wealth, and power, wearing a crown on my head and a scepter in my emotions, burdened by the elephants on my shoulders, until I ascend to the grandeur of the love eternal. Faith is the silent, reassuring voice that guides me, adding charm flavorings to my experiences, like grace, with such inner culinary genius that I never doubt the joy of its delight. These shades of luminance inspire me, keeping me spirited and feeling totally alive. They kindle my courage, giving me the strength and resilience to pay attention to my self-worth, soaring on magnanimity and commanding respect. Now I feel so alive. I rise in the morning and smell the Cafe Arabica con leche, being already vibrant and receptive like tulips to the healing rays of the sun. I see the shafts of love's mercy even as she dances in the unfurling magnolias and exquisite white lilies of spring. The glint in my lover's eyes roam, never failing to grit the shining star of my heart's temple. The trees laugh in their abundance, even as nature comes alive in a munificence. We walk through the grove, our hands clasped and transmitting the warmth of love's energy to our souls. We hear the stream's melody, even as the song's bearers create symphonies, and the fertile earth massages our feet with deep affection. Yes, I am alive in my shades of luminance. Here everything pulsates, and the universe glows with luster like rows of golden lanterns lining its path. I am free, basking in the light of my beloved, and my soul sings and whispers gratitude to the temple of the sun. Lantern Carrier, thank you.
Glory comes in disguise.
In guises, same thing.
Not disguise, guises. Yes, I wrote down that and then I said disguise. And faith is a silent, reassuring voice. I love those lines, especially that first one is so rich because
thank you.
Glory can come in so many forms. That's a brilliant piece. Is that a newer piece, Lanton, or?
It's a new piece, a very new piece, yeah.
Really,
I was just walking past the train station and they have something called, I think it's hands of virtue. And in each hand or things, they have a quality like love, compassion, forgiveness, a whole spiel of, beautiful words. And I just take some and then I break them down into poetry.
Well, that's a brilliant piece. I felt that piece a lot. And like I said, those two lines just jumped out at me. Well done.
Thank you.
Well done, my brother. Well done. Thank you for being here today and sharing your brilliance this moment. Thank you. All right, from brilliance to brilliance, to another brilliant poet, the king of sonnets. I affectionately call him the professor, but the voice, the velvet voice, because he's got a voice. He's got a poetic voice. His words are brilliant, and then when you hear the way he recites them, there's a magic to it. So I'd like to call to the mic Ian Mack, the professor. The mic is yours, my friend.
Get away with your all. Okay. I love, so we're down to the final six. It says above my name on the chat. So I like to think of us as the dirty half dozen, sort of misquoting an old war film title. Sorry to anyone that is following after me for that. Apologize. Right, okay. First one, I've got two older ones and one new one. So the first one's one of the older ones called Wish You Like It. I watch as your eyes dance in soft saccadic movements, see your lips pursing tentatively, searching for the right word in English, translating from your native Cantonese, Your darting pupils appear to be reading an imaginary page, as though your thoughts were writing down the words while saying them out loud to me. The concentration on your face focuses my attention on the effort required to think and speak in two languages simultaneously, and I am even more aware of my own limited skills of speaking in tongues. And I watch intrigued and with delight as you write down the Chinese characters in a delicate choreography of dexterous strokes, rearranged on the blank page of my little black notebook. And I learned such fascinating facets of the Chinese way that the language has no tenses, no pronouns for he or she, so that now I appreciate more fully the nature of your gently broken English, which engages me. And as I write these words, I can only wish you like it, can only wish you were here with me right this moment to look into those eyes dancing with delight as I pour them gently into your ear. Okay, it's kind of a love poem sort of thing, but I don't do that many. It's, when I do, I thought, maybe get into it. So this is the new one. I recently watched the Wim Wenders film, Perfect Days, about toilet cleaner in Tokyo. And one of the key motifs, he looks up at the trees and sees the light shimmering through and he takes pictures of them. And I found out there's a Japanese word, kimorebi, which is the word for shimmering of light and shadows created by leaves swaying in the wind, which only exists once in that moment. And I think, for a culture to have one word for something like that, I think that is like poetry in a way. So this one's a shimmering lightness of being. Every moment is like a doorway, a threshold to a future time and place. We pass through each one like shadows, existing only once, living in the moment, as they often say. Likewise, each swaying obfuscation contains a fleeting glance of shimmering light, the universal yin and yang. As for every good, there is a bad. And ephemeral sunlight streams through waving branches as they fan their leaves seductively, causing me to gaze up in amazement, inquisitively wondering if this moment will be repeated tomorrow as I try to catch hold of it, only to realize in vain that this fleet fugitive will escape, never to pass before my eyes again. And so I remember to bow my head in reverence with plaintive hopes of future blessings each time I enter a sacred space marked by any torii, a gateway to each tomorrow's state of grace. And so last one, again, there's kind of a common theme running through this, sort of the idea of light or light waves. And this one's called wavelengths. White light bursts through the prism of sky, splintering into multicolored rainbow shards that kindle the visible world with rustic greens, burnt earthen ochres, and ultramarine blues, dazzle the eye and furnish the senses with deep knowledge of everyday things. Red berries to warn us away, while wild birds feast and carry off the seeds to germinate in fresh array, while rich purples signify newly ripened fruits with the promise of future gratuities. All these and more, yet this display of visual delights forms a narrow band of luminescence, healed from the barcode of infinite starlight, gracing this cosmic backwater, offering us safe anchoring. Then I look up to see the wild geese flying overhead in their formations, while I stand alone down here, grounded, lost in my own thoughts, locked into my own wavelength. Thank you.
Ian, as though your thoughts were writing them down on paper. I love that line from the first piece. That first piece was exquisite. I really enjoyed that first piece. It had such a love feel to it, but it was also more so than that. That's just well written, my friend. Well done. Very beautiful piece. Every moment is a doorway is definitely true. Seems like every one of your poems is a doorway to something more than even what you think you're expressing. So
Well, I know. I just write the words and how people read it. I mean, yeah, it's like you are kind of opening a doorway and you don't know where it's going to go. I always
exactly.
like to feel, like I said it earlier, but writing the first line is like the key, and then I never ever know where the poem is going to end up.
Mhm.
I never know how the ending. Well, that's the exciting thing about it. It's like going on a mystery trip.
It is. I love
Uh,
it. Yeah.
so
Well done.
that's I think every poem should be like that.
Well, this is one of the reasons, I put my poem, when I put it out, I leave the interpretation to you because, you might hear it differently. And that first piece really with me. And then that
Well,
line,
I really, yeah, I love it when I don't have to say anything to explain and people, like you're doing now, Rob, get up and, you know, feed it back to me. So it's always a pleasure when, somebody kind of picks up something and compliments you on it. So thank you very much for that.
oh, you're welcome. Well, I'm glad you accepted this moment to be a doorway into our minds and hearts. So grateful, very grateful.
That's it.
All right, from brilliance to brilliance. Yeah, this young man with the curvy hair now, the wavy hair, brilliant political satire, humorist that uses his poetry and his humor to talk about subjects that, whether you agree with it or not, I do believe we all need to listen and just listen with the intent to possibly learn and hear something different. So, my brother Richard, the mic is yours, sir. The mic is yours.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you so much. Pleasure to hear all these wonderful poets. The lovely music of Kinfolk Nation, awesome. Raul, you attract wonderful people. I'll accept myself, but wonderful, wonderful poets, such great artists. I have two pieces for you now. There's a trigger warning for both these, and it's not done mean spirited, but a trigger warning for those of you who may need health care. So if you've ever needed health care, you should be warned there will be serious topics spoken of in a hilarious fashion, I hope. This is called Please Don't Change Our Darwinian Healthcare System. Maybe the sick should just die. I've heard them complain on the bus and the train and the cough and they stress, spewing their mess, flailing painfully, postponing the rest, denying the end, calling on friends. Maybe the sick should just die. All of their screeching has battered my brain, the yowling and moaning and screaming and groaning, the toing and froing, the ugly wombs flowing without pause or restraint, without plaster and paint. Maybe the sick should just die. They parade to the hospital and clog up the halls. The charade they're not at all well. Don't drag us to your hell. And the slips and the falls and the legs and cast as you whimper and whisper and wisp and wheeze and gasp. They teeter on crutches, slowing me down. The wheelchairs and ramp stairs they're clowning around. The coughing and sneezing, their boring old wheezing. Oh, my lord, it's not pleasing. Maybe the sick should just, die. Insurance rates and mental states, implants, valves and stents, upgraded joints, prosthetic limbs. My vision dims, they can't take a hint. Maybe the sick should just die. Surgeons and nurses and doctors by the score, orthopedists, anesthesiologists, and more. Pancreas, appendix, replacement kidneys, and those tricks. X-rays, MRIs, ultrasound, radiation. Seems they stop at every station and they're messing up the nation. Maybe The sick should just die. All the pills and the potions, the extravagant notions of fellowship, stop the commotion, rescind the motion, what a trip, just let her rip. Maybe the sick should just die. Commercials round the clock, drug cures, chock-a-block, take this, rub that, take this stuff, your pillow's been fluffed, I've had enough. Maybe the sick should just die. And if you can't be finally repaired, society must eventually declare you can't pay the bills, just take the pills. Maybe the sick should just die. Medicaid, Medicare, even more than we can bear. You never had enough. Stop the waste. You're in bad taste. Maybe the sick should just die. Now, for something completely different. I don't know if you've heard this, but there's a thing in the Catholic faith called confession. Now, some of you are aware of it, some of you not. But anyway, there's this thing called confession where you go into a little booth and you talk to a priest and you bare your soul and they give you some penance. Now, there's been an upgrade to that whole situation. In Switzerland, they have joined the latest technology craze. They have made a I kid you not, this is real. They've made a holographic AI Jesus. A holographic AI Jesus that you can confess your sins to. A holographic AI Jesus. This is my rumination on that. The intercessional confessional compels and allows the vows and thus the purging of our souls' sweet indiscretions, and with the silicone kiss the rattle-tattle of the walking robot stroll through to the skinless, sinless valleys, thereby to regain control of our dear, if so frequently tarnished, immortal soul, returning cleansed now, as it were, unsullied to the elect celestial role, no longer mocking peanut butter without the jelly roll, where priestly distance behind the grill upon the cringing penitent does instill, by recreating freshy distance from the act, reduced through this retelling the no longer hidden lidded fact, releasing the soul through prayerful purgative sanctions tracked, now freed through the priestly beastly penalties, 12 Our Fathers, 15 Hail Marys, returns the soul to the fresh and blessed state of gleaming gardens, fairies function stroll. But in this age we find the parish priest freed, new-found release from the salacious duties such as these, now consigned and digitally realigned and combined in the holographic project, the newish Jewish Testament, a fresh and even digital connection designation, the ancient Jewish wisdom now has been ported and uploaded and is now 24/7 computer tech supported. AI trained by sermons lasting no longer priestly halos thrashing, bearing the burdens of these sinners. Buddy Christ is now the token with a warm and friendly voice, the holographic plastic Christ invoked in, and now AI woke in. Priests in Zurich town have been relieved, no longer passing judgment on these heavy listening sessions. Can you now believe? Sinners' penance now calculated to at least 15 decimal places, sealed and stated. No longer content in Latin, Aramaic, or even Greek, they've encoded the New Testament in AI speak to give way all that troublesome priestly grief. No longer listening behind the grill for more serious duties. Off you go, and now, and with a will, parishioners faced with this upgraded digital Christ find him reassuring, patient, even nice. With homilies and encoded text, who knows where the mighty digital Jesus will go next? The most patient penitent will close observe, except during the rebooting his welcome quotable downloadable words, while digital Jesus is reconnecting to the web. What exactly was that Judas so clearly and pointedly said? And as long as Wi-Fi Christ is deconnected, not one of your sins will you by your identity be recollected. The blooper reel will be concealed until the tech downloads the files. That much, for humor's sake, I will reveal.
You have to do 5 emojis and 2 Hail Marys.
Thank you, my friends.
Oh my gosh. What a beautiful mind you have, my friend. I love that first piece. It just reminds me of, regardless of the madness and all the political and whatever you think and believe, blah, 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 at the end of the day, you're still talking about another human being. As always, well done. Well done. Well done. You got your finger on the pulse, my friend. You got your finger on the pulse. Don't forget those Hail Marys though, okay? You don't want digital Jesus coming after you. So all right. I'm gonna call long lost friend. Well, she's not lost, just not busy living life. But Diane Ward, I'm always glad when I get to see you. So welcome. Thank you for gracing us this morning.
Thank you so much. And I did a prose piece about the confessional, which at some point, yeah, I think Rick knows it. And it was excellent. So for me to come on after him, tough, but I've changed what I was going to read so many times since listening to everybody because there's so many different ways one can go. This first piece is called WASPA, WASPA. It's about a young Nigerian fellow who is a fantastic artist. If you haven't looked him up, WASPA. Early gifted and recognized. Gifted, early and recognized. Known worldwide, gifted. Early promise, eye of his view. Compositions and talented. His age is now but a joy to behold. Show us his way of engaging his craft, his art form, his engagement and engaging smile. Brush whipped, pen whipped with inks. The palette tempering colors and faces, and so delivers through his gifts to us, and so overabundant. The spillage of his talent we accept humbly. Kareem's gifts, so welcoming, adds to our treasuring of his gentle essence, capturing DMW. When he was discovered back in 2019, he was only 11 years old. You have to look at his work. It's absolutely amazing. Okay, the next piece, I'm going to read something else. There's a young lady. She wrote Saffron, Sunshine, and Sweets, Poetic Stories by Rita Zahir, the raw poet. And although I only have a 5-minute spot, I'm going to read one of her pieces because I like to introduce people to other poets. So that first piece I wrote, this piece is a piece I wish I wrote, but she wrote it. I'll put her name in the chat. Got to give credit where it's due. The title is Go Love a Poet. Go find you a poet to write you into oblivion, to make you a muse for a mystic metaphor musician, to wistfully woo you into allegories of sin, to kiss soft sonnets into the creases of your skin, maybe even to orate the odes of the new goddess religion, to fluff your aura, stroke your chakras, and revive your rhythm. Go find yourself a poet to season your stanzas with simile and cinnamon, to flower over your flaws and slow dance with your darkest demon, to love you beyond any logic or reason. Go find yourself a poet to tickle your tongue with perfect precision, to twist your lips in artful transitions, to plant pretty prose and invoke vivid visions, to pen conception of those divergent decisions, to playfully roll rhymes down your demure dimensions, amassing allegiance around addictive alliterations. Go find you a poet to memorialize your movements in all of memory, to heighten your hypersexuality with a heavy heap of hyperbole, to speak into being the beginning of your legendary history, to mix magic into the meaning of your divinity, to beset your soul with seductive stories of destiny, to finger forever and edge eternity, desiring you desperately into infinity, to the soundtrack of a sweet, sweet soliloquy, luring you into the endless, blissful abyss of poetry. Rita Zaire, I'll put her book in the chat. She's published by Marissa Prada of Red and Green Books in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Thank you.
Marissa doing her thing, man. That's a brilliant piece. And I think I just saw Terry said she was the editor of this book. So that's a brilliant poem. I can see why you wished you wrote it. But your first piece is, it's just love hearing your voice, Diane. I'm listening to you and it's your cadence, your delivery, the patience that you take in delivering every syllable of a word, right? Just the way you read you read it's brilliant. You kind of reminded me of, well, maybe yeah, she reminds me of you. I don't know if you guys know the name Cheryl James. She was one half of Salt and Pepper, but she's a brilliant poet. And so your delivery and your cadence sometimes reminds me of her. So, but like I said, you know, the other way around. But anyway, so good to see you. Thank you for coming. I know you have to run, so thank you for sticking around and being patient. Eddie, I'm going to put you off for 1 second because I want to get Lynette in. Lynette also has to take off relatively shortly. She's a new voice to the Inspired Poetry Corner and the Sunday at the Corner. So, Lynette, my friend, the mic is yours. Welcome.
Thank you, and thank you to everyone for sharing their inspiring work thus far. My first piece is called Indecision. My heart said yes. I felt like I was ready. I was like, we got this together. With the heart as the lead, I didn't have time to heed or the need to obey conventions or tenets. The heart was a superior organ that told me to leap and never follow the course. But the brain, who I feel is mostly insane, wanted me to stop and be careful, reminding me to be fearful. But I want whimsy. I need spontaneity. I need to feel less pressure to do better. When the brain kicked my heart in the privates, I almost felt that the sound was heard in public. I was torn and confused, not knowing which road to choose or who to listen to. My body stood stationary, confused by the impulses, twisted and confused, riddling with convulsing, passion halted by indecision. I gave up and made no move forward. Stuck. And the second piece is called The Table. If this table is spread in the presence of my enemies, I am well pleased, teased, and ready to conceive new ideas and new direction. Because even through reflection, my taste buds crave. And while I may want to save a morsel for a friend, I don't know when my luck will end. And I will still need to fend off those that oppress and disgrace me because they think I am a monkey, or better yet, a little lost and half-shaven puppy who's too stupefied to look past the meal and start to heal the relationships that were broken. But this meal, this token will bring us together. And as we slaughter the lobster and delight in the delicacies, may the Creator continue to grant us favor. Thank you.
Beautiful. Because I really enjoyed you when you did Home is the Heart. I'm really enjoying listening to you. I'm gonna definitely reach out to you. I'd love to have a video chat to get to know you more. You know, considering you're also Caribbean. She lives in the Virgin Islands, so right. Always looking forward to someone from the Leeward Islands. All right. I know you have to run soon, so leave whenever you don't feel bad if you have to leave, and good luck with your next event. So thank you for being here, and we're down to two, and two brilliant, brilliant, powerful men. Eddie Potaskic, my friend, I love to call you to the mic. Thank you for being here, my brother.
Thank you, my bro, like no other words like thunder. But first, kinfolk, I just love the tones and melodies. Thank you for the outspoken remedies. You two are lovely, talented, and creative devotees. Thank you for the unique fusion of music and poetry. Thank you so very much. Hello, my name is Ed Potasso, feeling fantastic. Please tell me you could draw my rhyme, thoughtful, sublime. I got four short pieces, so I won't take too much time. My first piece is I could use my power. I can use my power in many unique ways. What more can I say? I can create flowers in the dark cascades. I can make dark cower and instantly decay. MLK had this power too. He made hatred run his shoe. Bob Marley used his power too. His energy has no substitute. If you don't get the hint, think about your heart. There's no need to sprint. Love is the strongest work of art. Love can open windows or doors. Love can even restore your cores. It can rebuild bridges and fix bonds. It can live eternally in the great beyond. Thank you. This other one's called Worst Case Scenario. Worst case scenario. Let's think about the positive. Let's not focus in the negative. What have you learned? Good. Be less stern. Are you still alive? You didn't poke any beehives. What are you worried about? I hear you. Please don't shout. You didn't murder anyone. Jail isn't pleasant or fun. You didn't use a gun, regretting what you've done. Do you have an accident? You don't have bumps or dents. Is your family or pet okay? Good. What more can I say? Again, why are you sending the alarm? Nobody or anything doing you harm. Are we on the same picture? It's not major, but miniature. Remember, it could be much worse. Take your blessings. Don't be a curse.
Mm.
And the second one is called Route Instruction. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Please go as you flow. If you know, you know. Please be nice and glow. Don't be shallow or hollow. Listen to your gut. Help you out of the rut. Please no more give no fucks. You don't want to be a Peking ducks. Please pick up the pieces. The pain might decreases. Please, you're not alone. You're not attached to stones. Everything is a puzzle. Use your cognitive muscle. If it's hard, take a break. Don't stay perplexed or awake. It will come to you. Keep swimming the blue. Please don't beat yourself up. You can save the dumpster trucks. Rome wasn't created in a day. Go stay or play to enjoy today. If it doesn't come, please don't beat a war drum. It takes a bit more time. Sometimes, some things are worth the climb. And the last one's called Digging Down. What's bothering you? Is it sticking to you like glue? I'm using my trusty shovel. Look for trauma or trouble. You're safe with me. Don't be a tree. Don't hold up inside. I can see your cries. Why are you hiding it in? Please release them, my friend. It's doing much harm. Don't be a pest by a storm. The pain's eating away. Do you know what I'm trying to say? It grows day by day by day. Don't break down or decay. Don't be a sleeping volcano. Don't stay mute, then explode. The step isn't being weak. It's not a flag of permanent defeat. Again, let me in, my troubled friend. Let heavy burdens gently transcend. Thank you.
Beautiful, Eddie. If you don't get the hint, think of your heart. That's a brilliant line. That's a brilliant line. There's a lot of wisdom in that line, Eddie. A lot of wisdom in that. Always impressive, my brother. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for the endurance. There's always got to be a couple of people. Well, there's always got to be someone last. And speaking of last, not last, only last in the list. But it's always nice when you have a powerful voice that can end off a show for you. And this is what Michael Anthony Ingram is. And I heard you had a fantastic feature the other day. So the mic is yours,
And
my.
I will. Yes. All right, thank you, my friend. It was a wonderful program. I always enjoy attending your events because I always learn something. And a special thanks to Lady Dia and Trophy. I needed your words. I needed your music. I needed your calmness. I live in Washington, D.C., which is the epicenter of an impending earthquake. But I'll save that for another conversation. So, what I'd like to do is to share two pieces. The first is titled Born of Legacy, Woven in Hope. My roots reach deep in fertile ground where seeds of greatness once were found. From warriors bold and hearts of flame, a lineage whispers my own name. I stand tall, a branch unbound. My leaves unfurl a verdant crown. In every vein, every pore, a memory flows of ancestors who braved a multitude of blows. I am the echo of their song, the laughter light, the battle oh so strong. In black-kissed skin and eyes so bright, their legacy reflects the light. So let the world hear, loud and clear, my voice ascends, dispelling all fear. No longer bound by chains unseen, I rise because my heritage is evergreen. Proud descendant, spirit free, my future blooms opens up for me. With roots of strength and branches wide, I reach for dreams where greatness hides. And the second was a request by my buddy Raw. And the title of the piece is Male Pattern Baldness. All right. In the time of Rapunzel, her golden hair was her lifeline, a shimmering thread of hope amidst the tower's despair. But one of those whose locks are gone, whose strands no longer tether them to dreams, I am bald. Choice, but not choice. No lion's mane or modern day afro to cling to. No long braid to anchor salvation. Now 61, 36 years since the day of my hair follicle deliverance. My personal Bastille Day. Vive la différence. Rapunzel's plight still looms large, for I can continue to bear loss. My spirit continues to be stripped bare. My soul stands unshielded against the battering storms of life. And yet, nothing changed after I shaved off my hair. Life continued as if it was not new to the naked shape of my smooth, slippery dome, or as if the world did not pause to ask me what I had done. What had I become? Perhaps it was I who paused, caught between who I was, what I had done, and who I was meant to be. Yet, what is a man without his hair? A warrior unarmored, stripped of the banners that once flew in the winds of his youth. Is he less than he was before? Or is he more, freed from the weight of vanity's crown, bearing instead the strength of his bare skin? For years, I wrestled with the answer, searching in the mirror's reflection, in the smoothness of my scalp, in the echoes of my former self. But then, like the rising sun, it dawned on me. Hair does not make the man. It is the storm he weathers, the battles he fights, the resolve that burns quietly within. I thought of Hugh Brenner, his polished crown a badge of defiance, swaggering through the sands of the Ten Commandments, commanding not just armies but respect. So let it be written, so let it be done. His iconic words spoken in the guise of Ramses, a king of ancient Egypt. His presence is regal, unyielding, and eternal. What is a king without a crown? Yet his power lay not in ornament, but in the force of his will, the authority of his voice. Am I Nefertiti's brother? The thought strikes me as strange, yet fitting, for like her, I wear no crown of locks, no flowing mane to define my worth. Baldness, in her image, was a mark of divinity, a choice of grace and power. If I am her kin, then perhaps I too am marked by something greater, a lineage of resilience, a quiet, enduring strength. What is a man without his hair? He is what he has always been, more than skin, more than strands, a soul resilient, a spirit unbroken. To be bald is to wield a quiet strength, to rise above the shifting sands of self-doubt and declare, as Brenner did, with an unwavering conviction, I am bold. I'm going to say, I am black and I am bald. So let it be written, so let it be done. Thank you.
Drop the mic, blow up the building. Done.
You
I
made me
mean, it was
smile today.
powerful. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I needed to smile, so thank you
Well, it
for
was
the
powerful when I
opportunity.
first heard it last week, and it volcanic even more. Oh my gosh, that's a brilliant,
Thank
brilliant
you, buddy.
piece.
Thank you, buddy.
So powerful.
Always good to be here.
Always good to have
Always
you.
good to
And
be here.
I just love that piece. I love that piece. It's a brilliant, brilliant piece. You know, I'm just grateful for voices like yourself and the others that are here that come to share. And like Ian said, you know, once you put it out there, it's up to the interpretation of the listener. And that's the beauty of our poetry. That's the beauty of our words. That's the beauty of our creativity. We know why we write it and what it may mean to us when we write it in the moment. But when you put it out there, whatever the listener hears, that's just as valid, right? That's just as valid. So thank you for that. Thank you for that brilliant piece. And thank you to all the
Yes, great
poets.
program.
Thank you
One
for
for
sticking
everybody.
around. I know
Beautiful, beautiful
a
program.
number of people apologize because they had to leave early, and I go, just leave, just go. Don't you have to apologize? But I'm grateful they feel respectful, and not to me, to they wanted me to let you guys know that they wanted to stick around. So I am just grateful because today we had such a gathering of brilliant voices. This is the first show of 2025, and you know, Sunday at the Corner is you know, I like to think it's become a very good part of our community, our poetry community, and I'm glad that you guys feel comfortable to come and share. Doesn't matter what your voice is, doesn't matter what your thoughts are, doesn't matter if whether I agree with it or not. The fact that you have the courage to share your poetry, and not just in this vehicle, but in all the other ones that you support, because there's a lot of great shows out there. Just like Diane, before she left, and reading that beautiful poem by that young lady, you know, because of what Marissa does. We don't always have to agree on anything. Can we respect each other, what we do, and what we offer, and dive into the poetry of it, swim in it, take it in? And today we were led by that example by Lady Dia and Trophy, Kinfolk Nation. We're all part of Kinfolk Nation now. It's Ubuntu. I am because you are. And I am because, excuse me, of poets, creative beings, not just poetry, about like Alexandria and Henry Lohman and Artemis and Leah and Charles and Maya and Millie and Mr. Carrier, Lantern Carrier, and Ian Mack and Richard, Diane, Eddie, Lynette, Michael. And although Terry didn't get on the mic, I'm glad Terry came today just to take this in, and all the other people that show up in support. Because we are a nation. We're a nation of poets, of created beings. And the poetry is not necessarily in the words that we offer, or in the music that we provide. The poetry is us. We are the poets. We are the poetry that flows. So as we continue along this year, and for however we may connect again, I invite you to remember you are the poetry. It lives in you. It's your job. The gifts that we were given is not a gift for us. It's a gift for everyone else. That's when it becomes a gift, when we share it with others. Reserve being judgmental and just accept it. You don't have to agree with what's being offered, but can you appreciate and embrace the poetry and the creativity and the human that is offering it? Because at the end of the day, we're human. And human in all his beautiful shades, in all his beautiful colors, and in all his beautiful expression. At the end of the day, that's something that should be embraced. And to me, that is the poetry. Ladies and gentlemen, I am always honored to sit here before you and through technology to bring a little piece of the world together, where we come together on a Sunday and share freely of ourselves, of our thoughts, our love, our humanity. I love you all. I thank you. Thank you profusely from the bottom of my heart for the support, not just of me, but of you, because without me, there is no you. Without you, there is no Inspired Poetry Corner. Keep supporting each other. Find ways to uplift each other. Because at the end of the day, whatever we disagree about, once we're gone, it's not going to matter. What's going to matter is the time we spent together and how we made each other feel. I love you all. Kinfolk, Dia, Trophy, there's no words. I purposely wanted to start the year off again with you guys. Yes, I've featured you before. I don't care. I'll do it many times because you, like Michael said, he needed. I think sometimes people just need to hear your simplistic words and the beauty of your words, and yet the power of them, and the spirit of Ubuntu that flows through everything that you do. You guys constantly tell me how I inspire you. No, you've got it wrong. You inspire me. The honor is mine. The honor is mine that I get to share this life with you and to call you family. Go and enjoy the rest of your Sunday, ladies and gentlemen. Go be
Roland, can
magnificent.
I just say, in
Sure.
view of Michael's last poem,
Mm.
will you promise to show us your really long dreadlocks?
I don't know how long they are anymore, but they're still there. I don't know if you can see them.
Okay, that's long. That's
Yeah,
ready
they're
to go down the tower.
well. I'm 5'10", and they're like way past my. They're down to the back of my knee now. So you know what I think I'll do? In the interest of sharing, I'll put up a couple of photos from when I used to keep my head like Mr. Ingram. Because people find it hard to believe I used to keep my head bald, and people find it hard to believe I used to be a suit and tie guy every day and all that stuff. So, but yeah, I mean they're pretty long. I mean this is I don't know. My son is what, 25, so this is 26 years of growth.
I want a photo, please.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. And they're not going anywhere. And I've lost quite a bit of dreads since I moved back to Toronto. I'm constantly losing because there's so much here, but they're not going anywhere. If people keep telling me when you cut it, make it shorter, blah, blah, blah. My attitude, once I'm dead, you guys can do whatever you want. You want to cut it, you want to trim it, you could do it then. Until then, this is how it is. So, but I appreciate that, Alexandra. Anyway, guys, like Michael said, man, yeah, until you get through it, I really needed this today. Not just wanted it, needed it today. This was a blessing. This was such a blessing.
And thank you for providing this beautiful platform. And now that I see the faces of kindred spirits, let's remember them as well. It's an inspirational platform being provided for so many inspirational people. And you talk of the spirit of Ubuntu, of togetherness, of community, and it expresses so much in a much larger scale from an African standpoint. So but this idea of coming together, of community, of family, of togetherness, union and harmony and oneness. So beautiful, so beautiful.
Well,
Yeah, I am that I am.
yeah.
Yes, I cut my camera off, but when you guys were singing Nairobi, I was in tears. I
Right?
just touched me so, and it blessed me so, and I thank you so much for sharing it.
I had that first time I heard him sing that song, I told Dia, I said, "You have to do it today. I don't ask for much. You have to do that song." And I don't know why. I hope they do something with that song because the first time I heard it, I just was like, "Oh my God!" And I felt the spirit of Bob in that song. And I don't think I've ever shared this story, but that song reminds me. I had a beautiful lover when I lived out in Western Canada, and she lived out on the coast on Salt Spring Island, one of the islands on Western Canada. And when we were together, I remember one night having a dream about an adventure our two spirits had. And I was a young cub reporter working for a newspaper in Johannesburg, South Africa. And she was the daughter of the editor. She's white, I'm black. And the only way we could meet to express any understanding of our love was on a train from Johannesburg to Nairobi.
Oh,
So when I
wow.
heard that, that's why that song has such deep. I love that song. So I get it, Artemis. Yeah, I really hope you guys do something with that because it's such a beautiful piece. Such a beautiful piece. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna go and enjoy, and I'm going to go and have a chat with my creator and just be grateful for this time and this moment and these moments that is a doorway. We are blessed.
Mhm.
Be gentle with yourself so you can be gentle with others. Love you all.
Love you guys. Thank you, Michael, everybody. Mwah, mwah.
Bye all. Gratitude.